Police dispatch audio. Paul Pelosi, when calling the cops, said he didn't know who the male was. He advised his name was David, and he's a friend. We literally have the audio. Here's what we know of Paul Pelosi's mysterious attack inside of his house in San Francisco. Paul Pelosi reported 911 dispatch that a friend was in his home in a call on Friday morning. The alleged intruder reportedly attacked Paul Pelosi with a hammer and forced him to undergo emergency surgeries. Officers later identified 42-year-old Berkeley resident as David DePape as the attacker. Now, we say Berkeley resident because we literally walked by David DePape's house. We played you the cold open there. That was in Berkeley. We were just in Berkeley. We walked through, because it's a hellhole. We walked through this place that's like a communist park. It was sickening. People camping all over the place, filth in the streets, human excrements, needles, drug abusers, and obviously flop houses and slum houses like the leftist commune, BLM, LGBTQ plus supporting commune that David DePape lived at. He is taken into custody and will be charged with multiple felonies, including attempted murder in San Francisco. Emergency dispatch officials provided the police officers were addressed to the address of the Pelosi's in San Francisco. The dispatch official calls said the police with specific instructions with the address. The dispatch official said that Pelosi informed 911 that he did not know who the attacker was, but that his name was David and that he was a friend. Here's the literal call.
Northern 4-car, 8 priority 910, 2640 Broadway, cross of Scott and Normandy. I have a 14-hour copy. RP stated that there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but he advised that his name is David and that he is a friend. RP sounded somewhat confused. Is a friend. RP sounded somewhat confused. 12-hour back and copy.
Okay, so Paul Pelosi attacked in his home a man in his underwear wielding a hammer, and the police observed all of this. The attack actually happened after the police got there. The police observed the attack happening. As always on the show, we wish Paul Pelosi a speedy recovery. We wish for absolutely no violence ever on this program. We wish for no bad things to ever happen to our fellow Americans. The end. That's it. If you can't say otherwise, then again, you're as bad as the other side, because the other side wishes pain and horrors untold upon all people, MAGA, freedom-loving, or otherwise. So if you can't, you must be able to have moral objectivity and authority over your enemies. Of course, that didn't stop them from lying about DePape. So David DePape, based on our readings of what he has written and based on some of the authoritative undergoings that have been undertaken by real journalists online, seems to be a psychotic schizophrenic. He seems to be a man disconnected from reality. Here's where he lived, okay? So the man lived inside of a BLM flop house, leftist Marxist commune in Berkeley, which again, we were just at. You can see, Royce, throw up the tweet here so we can show everyone his home. This is the home that he lived in. That doesn't really look like dark MAGA house, does it? Does this look like your MAGA uncle's house? Huh? So you got the LGBTQ plus IA ampersand flag outside. You have a BLM sign in the window. It's kind of hard to see in that photo. You have a couch out front. This is exactly what we saw, Royce. This is exactly what we saw in Berkeley. There are a ton of houses like this. So one of the most leftist places on the planet. The American flag with rainbow colors also included marijuana leaves on them. So what did his neighbors have to say about him? Let's get into, like, who is this guy, this David DePape? Because the left is trying to tell us that he's some big, ultra MAGA, super Donald Trump supporter. This is the narrative. This is why we do not repeat narratives on this show. The narrative has lied to you. These people have lied to you, and we will not digest those lies for our audiences. You will show us the security footage. You will show us hard evidence, or go fuck yourself. That is the policy of this show. Release the footage, release the body cam so that we can make our own assessments based on data. Here's the data from his neighbor. Here's literally his neighbor talking about who David DePape was. Go.
So they are just, nudist drug abusers, and that's who gravitates toward them.
And the children who live there, they seem to be underage or under 18.
I'm not sure how old they are.
Okay.
And Trish, again, what do you say their politics are?
I'm not sure. I would imagine that they're more left-leaning because of their support for the gay community and for, I'm sorry, for other people, but it is, now I'm not sure what way they lean because
they have the flag, the LGBT flag with the
Yeah,
hat.
yeah.
So.
Okay, so his neighbors say that he's a nudist leftist drug abuser. And there is absolutely no doubt that this man is probably addicted to any type of mainline narcotic he can get his hands on. This guy's blog posts are totally schizophrenic, like absolute clinical schizophrenic. His blog posts are hundreds of posts with just one word in them. We went through them this weekend. We decided to go in and find for ourselves. So the official narrative is that this is some type of radicalized, the MAGA man. Wrong. This is false, not only based on the testimony of his neighbors, but based on all of the evidence before you. There's his home. Does this look like a Make America Great Again, blue-collar Trump supporters' home? Real hard-right MAGA supporters right there. His neighbors say he's a leftist. The people that know him best say he's a leftist. And if you look through his actual content, the guy is clearly a schizophrenic. He's clearly mentally ill. And that mental illness led to the sequence of events that we would like to find more information on. There have been conflicting reports that there were third people there. Those reports have been walked back. Those reports were reported by Politico and NBC News. According to the official police report, there was a third person there. Now that's all been walked back. Okay, fine. Walk it back. People make mistakes. Release the footage. Here we go. This is what Paul Pelosi's house security system looks like. You can see all the cameras right here. Gateway Pundit, CCV, TV, and security detail all around Paul Pelosi's house. We will inform you that armed Secret Service agents exited a vehicle. Royce and I stood 1 block away from this home. We weren't even close to the home. We weren't on the same side of the street as the home. And Secret Service agents got out of their cars, made themselves known, and presented authoritatively to us as we were sitting there just doing a stand-up shot. Journalists, that's what we do. So let me make this very clear. There is tons of evidence that would explain precisely what happened here. Release the damn footage. And until you do, GFY, when it comes to creating narratives, we've had a belly full of it. Enough with the narrative. They have tried to turn this into something to make, and again, the question here is the expediency as it pertains to the 2022 November elections. Let's make sure that all MAGA people are seen as demonic terrorists. They've been trying this for a very long time. Let's make sure every single attack in America is seen as a MAGA terrorist attack, when actually the exact opposite is true. Just a short people's history of true violent extremism in this country will show you precisely which side is a fascistic, nihilistic blood cult.